in Jordan, it's not uncommon to hire a taxi. Up here in Oman, you want a taxi that's on the meter. So when you get into the taxi, you go on the meter. They may say, oh, you know, however much they might try to negotiate a set price. But always ask for on the meter. I've been caught a couple of times where it was a very short ride. This is right in the beginning. You've always got to get burnt. And they wanted an exorbitant amount of money. So I didn't pay them the exorbitant amount of money. I just got out of the taxi and left. Down in the south and somewhere like Wadi Musa for Petra, it's often a set price. It's like a cartel, and nobody can outbid anybody else, so that everybody gets a guaranteed amount of money. So if you do get a taxi up here in Amman and they won't go on the meter, just go to another taxi. There are hundreds of them. The other thing you've got to get used to, being a Westerner, or I guess anybody, taxis tout for business by tooting their horns. And so you will hear that quite a lot here in Amman. It's probably, until you get used to it, it's really sweet in the long term. But it's really, really annoying, and it can really break your concentration. But in reality, it's quite sweet. An additional thing to remember when you are hiring a taxi here in Amman, if you are up here on the Citadel and you come out of the Citadel, there'll be taxis waiting there. But they will actually ask you for a lot of money, a lot more money than what it would cost normally. So what you do is you just walk down the street a couple hundred meters and just pick up a taxi that's driving past. It's once again a bit of a cartel, and people are just desperate for money because it's not only are they poor, they're coming out of a really bad situation. But so coming out of the Citadel, if you don't have a standard ride like your driver, just walk a little away, a couple of hundred meters, and catch a taxi in the street. What's different about Australia and Jordan? Only men should travel in the front of taxis. Women should always travel in the back of taxis. And women should only travel in the back of taxis. I've just randomly picked up a taxi off the street and just asked him to take me down to the souk down by the Hussein Mosque. The car just smells like gasoline. It's held together with some string. But he does have a meter, so I asked him to go on the meter, and that was fine. He's on the phone talking while listening on the radio, and it's just insane. The trip from Second Circle to the Citadel cost 1 JD on the meter, so this will cost probably something similar. I hopped in a taxi and asked him to take me to a souk. So he brought me down to Maxim Mall, which is near Abdahi, which is about 2 kilometres from where I want to be. So I'm just going to cross over the street and catch a taxi back down the other way, where I actually wanted to go, because I did say near Hussein Mosque. Nowhere near Hussein Mosque here. Another thing that's different from Australia and Jordan is that private citizens are not allowed to transport tourists, visitors, to Jordan in their own private vehicle.
In 300 metres, at the roundabout, exit and stay on Al-Khaliya Al-Mayor Al-Islamaya Street.
Okay. We don't have to die getting there, sir. So we're off to the Roman Amphitheatre. Roman Theatre. We've just got to Second Circle in no time at all, after a horn battle with a local in a car. So taxi on the meter starts at 34 piastra. We're gonna zoom down the street. fabulous. Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. So I've wandered around Old Town for a few hours. I went to the Roman Amphitheatre. I'm driving past a very closed children's museum. I'll go there tomorrow. I bought a couple of scarves. I filmed some of the souks. And now I'm just catching a taxi back to Third Circle. Once again, Jeremy didn't speak English, so I just showed him the address on the phone. And he's switched off very quickly now. So I've caught a taxi, and because English is not well spoken, I have used the phone again to demonstrate, but my phone is in English. So I used the driver's phone in Arabic, and I typed the address in. So hopefully...
Exit the roundabout onto Abdul Monem Riyadh Street.
Unfortunately, his phone was on walking mode within Google Maps, so he was taking me down all these random back streets. I had to take the phone off him, change it to driving mode, which is a direct route.
مستعدة للبحث عن حلول دبلوماسية للأزمة الراهنة مع أوكرانيا والدول الغربية.
In the old town, browse in the shops again.
أخيرا أجواء دافئة وارتفاع ملموس على درجات الحرارة اليوم. نهاية الموجة.
Al's coming back from the south this afternoon, so I'll go and have a rest before he gets back. Another thing that is different between Petra and Amman is taxis at Petra are not on the meter. Taxis in Petra are a fixed price, regardless of where you travel. Where's your favourite part of the world? Put a comment down below. Like this video, share and subscribe. This is Julie Jules Cruise Companion saying stay safe, happy travels.